What's up, party people? It's Birds of a Feather Crew. You got your boy OGP, CM Chucks to the left, to my left. Yeah, there we go. I did it right that time. PY on the bottom down there, and we got Mr. Yakub. I'll call him Yakub because he's like my little brother. We're gonna get into some little running backs talk. You know, we're brought to you by our main sponsor, Bajos Bread, located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, home of the best stuffed breads, tomato pie, sandwich, cutlets, and the balls of the meat. Mention A2D Radio for 10% off your in-store purchase. We're going to roll this intro. We're going to get into it.
Oh, my God! I'm embarrassed! You're flying!
Welcome in. It's almost time.
What is up? What we talking about tonight? I think we tried not to talk about it, but it's like we can't not talk about it. You see Chuck's shirt, you see the top that says running. I'll give you one guess. What's underneath of that? Well, he just gave it away. So, I mean, he's very impatient. So, listen, man, we're going to get into some running backs. The poll question, if we could pop it up on the screen for everybody, and I'll hand it over to Chuck's, and then we'll get into it. There will and must be changes made in some way, shape, or form to help improve the running back market, and I'll add on to that the position overall as well. As you know, we already read the Bajos Bread, but also brought to you by Alonzi Travel, specializing creating a vacation of your dreams at Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart, small heart, little heart, big heart, heartbroken, heart good,
heartbroken,
falls to you. Let the talented team of travel experts create a custom vacation for you. All right. So, Chucks, the floor is yours. Poll question for tonight, centered around the running back market and the position. I'm interested to see where you go with this. Floor is yours, sir.
What's going on, gentlemen? So, yeah, we like Pete said, we tried not to talk about it, but with every media outlet out there talking about it, we kind of had to talk about it, or else we wouldn't be doing a service to you, because I know all you viewers who are watching us, tuning in every week, you want to hear our take on it. So we will give you our take regarding the running back market. Now, it's been talked about ad nauseum already, like ever since Monday, right? So there's a lot of opinions, a lot of takes out there. So this is how we're gonna approach this. I am going to go around where all of us are going to say real quick, agree or disagree to the poll. All right, just give agree or disagree. Second part is I'm going to articulate what the main issues are right now facing the running backs and the running back market. Because again, there are essentially two main issues that are in the way of them getting the paydays. So I'll articulate that, and then we'll each go one by one. I want you to just give one takeaway that you have from the whole conversation we've experienced, for the past few days. So, like, if there's one takeaway that you saw, or one part of your reaction, you can talk about it. And then the last part is we're each going to talk about one solution to the problem that we think could help. All right. That way it's we can each be a little bit concise with this. So, Pete, Mr. OGP, yes. Agree or disagree to the poll that there will and must be changes to the running back market?
I agree, but I'll expound on this when it comes back. But right now, I agree to the poll.
You agree, Jake?
I will agree also, and like Pete said, I'll come back to it because I have something to add also.
Yeah, PY.
I mean, how can you not agree? It's when you have guys like Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley getting screwed and being stuck on their team with minimal money. It's not fair.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So it's unanimous. We all do agree. Now, there's been a lot of talk, like we said. So what's one takeaway from all the conversations, all the discourse that we've had? What's one takeaway that doesn't, not necessarily a solution that you may have, but just one reaction to what has been said so far in the past few days regarding this whole topic that you may have? We'll go in reverse order. So PY.
Well, there's this crazy guy on Twitter who kept going on and on and on about the running back position. And I got really worried about him. I got really scared that something was going to happen if he just stopped tweeting.
It took me a second.
I had 911 ready, just on standby.
So that was your one takeaway from the overall.
That was an important takeaway.
that's fine. That's a good takeaway. But okay, go ahead.
I mean, I thought about this for a long time. Like, I think the worst thing the NFL does is the franchise tag, because, like, especially if you're a first round running back, they like, even if you're not a running back, you're just like a player in general. They own your ass for 7 years.
That's crazy.
Like, no matter what happens, they own you for 7 years, and you can't even sniff free agency till possibly year 8.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. That's absolutely.
Unless you're like a quarterback and like a Kirk Cousins, where it's like, oh, cool, we're franchising you, but you're gonna make like $35 million a year.
Jake.
My big thing was too, and it's not even like the main running backs are being talked about. I think someone said it in the chat, whether it was you, Chucks, or it might have been Mr. Evans or Mr. Young, but there was a thing I saw. Or maybe I just saw it on Twitter, but nonetheless, there was a thing that I saw with Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah, I think I retweeted that.
With how his contract's structured, and by the time he'll have to get paid, he'll be like 30 or something like that. But he'll be on the tail end of his career as far as running backs are concerned, and he won't make any money.
Not make any money.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. So that was really my big takeaway, aside from obviously the Tony Pollard conversation, Josh Jacobs, and Saquon Barkley. The Isaiah Pacheco thing blows my mind.
That's crazy.
Absolutely blows my mind.
That's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Yep.
Pete.
This is bigger than running backs. That's my biggest thing. And then the game has changed. I keep hearing this. But the more and more you hear ex-players who, it's crazy, from those who are further away from the game, have more intel and insight to what the current game is. And then as far as, like, we've heard what RJ3 has talked about, his idea to abolish transition tag, franchise tags, max contracts, 3 years for rookies. We've heard that. We heard, I know Jake shared Dominique Foxworth when he was talking about the performance pay base, what's there, that $336 million in just unused funds. And then once again, we keep highlighting the running back position, but I think there's just a really bigger issue going on. And this is to the general public, right, as well. It's just, you don't know what you don't know. And when you speak on it, you sound ignorant, and ignorance is always not an absence for or lack thereof, where you can't be got or you can't be educated. Sometimes people say ignorance is bliss. In this situation, it's not. So take Pop Pacheco. As you know, he is family to me through marriage. In a situation like this, I heard people say, well, this little window, he makes this money, he can work it, he can get a job in football doing something else. Does he strike you as someone that can be a personality or on air or go into coaching or something like that? Everybody doesn't have high max. My dog, as he walks by, goes to his bed. He like, that may not be an option for every player, right? So that's where I just think I want the NFL players to take a stand at some point, and then I'll get into it more. I know you're going to go, Chucks, so I'll leave it there for now. Then as we come back around, I definitely have just a little bit more to discuss on the topic. Yeah. But to Greg's comment, I see, disagree, suck it up. Let me see you go out there and get hit. Let me tell you, as fair as, so you mean to tell me it's fair enough when you are the 1% of the running backs, or what you do in life, whatever you choose your career path, you should then have to go only do that for 2 or 3 years? I mean, I just don't see how we're not relating to what we go through in our normal day-to-day lives. It's different for them and it is for us, but that's still the commonplace. Like, we all have professional jobs in some cases. I don't know what PY does. He may go hunting for Sasquatches or whatever. But it's a job. You know what your worth is. If you can help it, You're not going to go into to your establishment, your employer, and say, and they tell you that you're going to take a 30% pay cut. You may do it at that point because you have no other choice because you got to put food on the table. But best and believe you're going to be looking for other options. That's the problem. We talking about players' rights almost as if they, I want to say slaves, but you know what I mean. That's just a little.
Yeah.
But you're talking. We're not talking about like your employer doesn't have the rights to you. You're free to be anywhere else. Now, when you're there, you're there, you're there. I understand contracts is a little bit different, but the maneuverability, I think sometimes business is good business. It's good business to get overproduction and pay less, right?
Yep.
Call labor laws. We all hear that shit, right? And that's big in the public sector and the private sector when you have all that. But morally, when you have your right guard or your worst offensive lineman making more than your running back or more than somebody else who's contributed more to the team, that shouldn't be. But I really fought the players union for that.
Yeah.
Because the CBA they signed, dude, like, bro, like this shit is trash.
Yeah,
they're screwed until 2030.
Yeah,
and I see people. I saw Greg saying, "Tell him to suck it up." You're gonna tell Saquon Barkley to suck it up. Daniel Jones has sucked ass for 4 years to the point where they declined his contract, and Saquon dragged their limp behinds to the playoffs on his back. But you're going to reward that bum with $40 million a year. But you're going to tell Saquon Barkley, nah, we're good. We'll see you next year. We'll talk.
They were off by, like, Jake, you said it. They were off
$1 to $2 million.
$1 to $2 million.
That's insane.
It's insane.
Not even 2. 1 to 1.5. That's insane.
That's insane. Yeah, that's insane. It's crazy. So from my takeaway, like, I want to be able, and I think this is, I tweeted it out yesterday amongst my million tweets in basketball. I tweeted out yesterday that we have to make sure we are differentiating the value of the running back position from the value of the running back players themselves. All right. And I think Chris Long on his on Greenlight podcast today, they talked about it. Chris Long, can I just say, like, he is one of the smartest dudes in sports media. Like, every time he has a take, it's like, yeah, exactly, right? Like, he's so good. But anyways, like, he brought up the fact that, like, hey, the running back position itself is still damn important. That is why teams still get running backs. Like, that's why you still see teams drafting running backs in the first round and second round. They still draft them early in the draft, despite what a lot of people will say. Teams, the actual position itself is still very valuable because teams know they need to still be able to run. It's a passing league. They have to still be able to run the ball. And the really great running backs can contribute as receivers and blockers. So the position itself is still a crucial part of the game today. No matter what you say, it's still important. Is it a premium position? No, but it's not as low as some people will make it out to be. What the difference is, the differentiating factor is that when you start talking about the players, that's where the value starts to dip. That's where you're like, okay, if I'm looking at the actual players, there's a surplus of good, really good running backs out there. That is part of the problem. And then, the other part of the problem is that there are the shelf life of the running backs themselves are short, right? So because of the surplus and because of the shelf life, that is why we're in the predicament today. But it's not because of the position itself. I always want to make that very clear. Because if it wasn't for the surplus of talent, if it wasn't for the short shelf life, we would be talking about this very differently about running backs getting paid. But those are the factors because we're talking about certain players
Mhm.
and what they are. So that's my biggest takeaway. So here's the issue, guys, and I think we all agree. I just stated it, that the problem that the running backs have now, or not just the running backs, but the problem with the market and why teams are doing what they're doing in terms of contracts are, one, because of the surplus in talent, and two, because of the short shelf life that running backs have. They're afraid to commit long term because once they get those second contracts, how old are these running backs? They're what, mid-20s, maybe 26. We just talk about Pop. He's going to be 27 when all is said and done, when he's eligible for another contract. That's when their prime is up. These guys, these running backs are in their prime right now when they're in their rookie contracts. But once that's done, they're no longer in their prime because of all the workload and the pounding that they take with all the carries. That's why GMs are hesitant, because they're saying, okay, like, why would I pay a second contract to a guy who's most likely going to fall off a cliff when there's still so many other good running backs out there?
Yep.
There's so many good running backs out there. I can pay them instead. So that's the problem. That's the problem we're facing. So if that's the problem, guys, and we'll go around the horn again. Pete, Jake, and PY, and then I'll and because I have a lot, but I want you guys to go first. Each of you name one solution that you think can help fix this? Because we all agree, Greg doesn't, but we all agree that there should be something changed, not just to help. We said not just to help running backs, but players in general. There should be a change to the way this structure and system is set up. So Pete, I know you've been chopping at the bit. What is one solution that you think would work?
Shorter contracts, no transition tag, no franchise tag. It just gives it's almost like when MLB gets players in arbitration. You're getting all-star MVP level production, but paying second rate. Like you're paying like bench guy rates and you're getting overproduction. Look at like Juan Soto, things of that nature. But I mean, you look at Jonathan Taylor when he won the Russian title. You look at Josh Jacobs when he won the Russian title last year. Once again, I'll add to your point where you said the surplus in talent and the shelf life, but it's also because the system and the setup and the structure and the CBA allows them to do it.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, so think of the NFL just like any other business. Any other business doesn't have to, if there's a business out there that only gives benefits to full-time employees, right? Part-time employee gets hurt or does this, whatever, they take them to, you got to touch the stove to get burned.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? For the NFL, they got to touch the stove to get burned. So that's what I would say from a CBA perspective. I don't know how they get there within the 7 years being away. I'm trying to think of another way that they can really force the issue to get the owners to come to the table without striking. I mean, and I said this before, you know what I mean? Obviously, we had it was a whole different thing, and that was the whole kneeling for the flag, this, that, and the third. And I'm not trying to get into all that. But when Drew Brees spoke on it, one of my biggest things was, okay, put your stamp on it then. It's a brotherhood, right? So my thing is, it's very few players in the league that can kind of take that stand, that have enough clout, that won't have any repercussions.
Yep.
Yeah. And I always get what Michael Jordan did. Michael Jordan always, that's not for me. That's not my place. That's not, you know what I mean? That's not me. LeBron's complete opposite, right? Pat Mahomes, I'm sorry. This falls at your feet. You the face of the league.
Yeah.
If you stand up and you say something about it, you speak on it, I don't know what it's going to do. I just want to throw some numbers out there real quick. I Googled the number one, like, sports and what major sports and who generates the most revenue. NFL generated $1.88 billion. Right. So we sit here, we talk about these players, running backs. Greg says, suck it up, right? Salary cap is what? 280 million
God, a lot.
last year.
I can look.
Jake, you want to look it up?
Yeah.
Sorry, just trying to adjust my camera angle.
It's been skyrocketing.
So
10 years, it's skyrocketing. Like,
out of that, don't get me wrong. I know the owners have a lot on their plate, right? But if you take that 1.88 billion, you only split into 32 ways. That is, I have it here, $58.75 billion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, $1 million. I'm thinking, yeah, something like that for one person. And that's just the revenue that they just generated off the league itself, revenue sharing. That's not even talking about what they make from the ticket sales and how else they generate. How the team. This is what the league generated, not what the individual franchises generated. You see what I'm saying? So, and once again, I didn't even know about the player pool, the performance-based pool, because if in the structure of the performance-based pool, what Dominique Foxworth was stating, definitely should have got his. Saquon should have got it. Josh Jacobs should have got it. You see what I'm saying? Because you overproduced. What Pop definitely should have got it for last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a 7th round pick and he won a Super Bowl ring.
Yep.
On a Super Bowl winning team. Had a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
He was probably their best. He was probably their best player in offense.
And the bit, but I really think the biggest thing is these contracts need to be shorter so these guys can get the free agency more. Because guess what? There is no market by the time. There is no market because by the time they get the market, they washed up goods.
Yeah, they old too.
They old and they washed up. You forget these dudes been carrying the rock not only in college, not only in the league, but in high school too. Probably better than not getting touched, but when they get to college, they get hit. They take the most abuse on the field outside alignment. You see what I'm saying? So if you reset how a value commodity can get to market faster, that's the same thing. Pete, you sell cars.
Yep.
Difference between a 10-year-old Cadillac Escalade or a 3-year-old Cadillac Escalade. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's the interest rates and everything change. Terms change, right? If I'm not mistaken, they're more attractive on a 3-year versus a 10-year. So
I have no. If you're trying to sell me a 10-year-old vehicle, I only want to look at your car.
Exactly. So my thing is this: if that's the case, how can the running backs and the players and this I think it was RG3, that perspective? It's right. Pro fan talk, Marcus.
Marcus.
For us. I wish he had a better thrown on Fandemonium, but it is what it is. It's all good, my brother. All good. Private Frank is never gonna live that down. He's probably not gonna let us forget that. But what RG3 was saying, that helps everyone. So you, like you said, you can't go back to the table just for one position.
You gotta do it for everyone. You
got to do it for everyone. But 3 years, no franchise tag. Even if you go 4 years. 4 years, no 5th-year option, even for first-round draft picks, no franchise tag, no transition tag. Because what does that do? That puts everybody in the market at one time. You're going to see teams strategize differently again with the cap, and the money's going to be there. Even if obviously in a perfect world you'll want guaranteed contracts too. But listen, NBA does it, and I understand it's a smaller roster, right? But there's also a difference. So if you have a 53-man roster, the league minimum and all that shit stay the same. Just make it fully guaranteed. So if I sign whatever Dennis Kelly just signed for, right? No signing bonus, no fake salary cap number, what he counts against the cap, it's fully guaranteed. Fully guaranteed. You see what I'm saying? 4 years, 3 years, 4 years. This whole 4 years, 5th-year option. Franchise tag that you can franchise tag again, and then you can hit a transition tag. You could be a restricted free agent, unrestricted free agent. Listen, man, if you want the player, pay. If you want the player, pay. It's as simple as that. And any other rule of business, if you want the commodity, you pay. Whether you pay out of your own pocket, whether you get credit, whether you get a loan, but you pay. You don't have ghost years. This isn't let me sign Saquon for 5 years and get 60 months for 0% financing. Nah, bro, this ain't Best Buy. This ain't you. This not.
And then at the end of the term, you don't have to deal with it. You just choose
right,
bro. And then the thing is, we keep hearing that whole, but the running back value. But listen, I don't care about the running back value and per se in a vacuum when you're looking at the overarching position. But when you're looking at what that running back means to that team and what the percentage of the offense that they drew and how they made that team work, that changes the whole conversation. Now, you can't tell me you would have had another running back on the New York Giants in the last 4 or 5 years that gave you the same production that Saquon did.
Not
you
many.
can't tell me that for the Raiders. And Josh Jacobs did that in 2 cities, Vegas and when he was in Oakland. And he's been doing it since Bama.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's frustrating, man, because I just don't know. Like the 32 NFL owners are some of the luckiest business people in the world.
100%. Yeah.
The workforce is just, they're not as unified as the other leagues. Even MLB, NBA did it right. And the NBA gets shit on for this because they feel like it's a
Players League, baby.
But look at what they have. You
Yep.
got Tyrese fucking Halliburton getting 4 years, $260 million.
But the difference between them and
$200 million.
Yep.
So my counter will be is that they're they made sure because they knew they weren't getting it otherwise. They damn made sure that they were going to be a global league, so they could touch everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. PY speaks on something big. Is if the NFL owners don't want to give a bigger piece of the pie without getting theirs, you got to go to Roger Goodell and say, listen, okay, we got to find out a way to pay our players better, right? But we don't want to do it at our expense. Go find us some more revenue. Mm-hmm. What can we do to generate more revenue? Which they could if they try to go global, right? I don't mean going ahead and putting this and having teams all over the world. I'm not saying that because the NBA is the NBA, right? But it's professional basketball in every other country and pretty much.
Yeah, it's one global team. That's it.
And you look at soccer too. It's the same thing with soccer. Soccer's
that's a different animal.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's talking about global, right? You're talking about the.
But it's always been global though.
Because and the other thing is too, it's easier to play. You don't have to have a lot of money,
right?
To play
a ball. That's it.
Same thing with
basketball. You need a ball on the court. Soccer, you need a ball on the field.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like but for the owners are only doing what the players are allowing them to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they haven't as a unit really said, no, we won't. They're not doing what the writers is doing right now.
Yep.
They're not striking like that because they're not unified like that.
Look at because everyone likes to talk about, oh well, baseball's a dying sport. And I'm like, it's not as the product isn't as good as it should be, despite the fact that like there are big stars in baseball.
Well, that's the MLB.
But they just won't push it. My point is that when they went to the table, you would expect the owners to have all the leverage. The players are like, yeah, we don't give a shit. It's like we'll go on strike. We'll see you in a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And
that shit lasted a month before the owners are like, man, we're missing out on too much money from COVID and everything else. We can't go on that long. Like we'll bite.
Right.
It's the same thing would happen in the NFL. Guess what? They'll eventually bite because they're all greedy assholes.
Yeah, and it's just again, if the NFL was global, which eventually it will be, I don't know if we'll be old. We'll still be around by the time it's like a global sport, and they'll already have like European leagues and whatever. But
right here,
yeah, right. But it's just a matter of that's a part of it. And before I get to my point, I just want to get to some of these comments real quick. Angry Bear says it's a passing league because of the handcuffs. He's referencing like with defensive backs how they can't really play defense anymore. You don't need to run as much till you get to the end zone. I disagree with that. Marcus from Propane talking about his episode on Fandom the other day. If you guys haven't checked it out, check him out on Mondays. They do a great job over there. Frank and Andy, they do a great job over there. Trivia is not my strength, and it's not my strength either.
It was evident.
Marcus also says owners will always shuffle the deck so the house wins. Oh yeah, 100%. And that's business 101, right?
Yep.
As long as the house makes their money, that's
all they care about.
Especially when you know who's leading the charge.
Right.
Well, that's why he's still there, because he's made them so much daggone money.
I wasn't talking about Roger.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was talking about Jerry.
Well, Jerry makes
Jerry
makes a bunch of money. But Marcus also adds to it. He says in 2022, Saquon Barkley accounted for 29% of New York's total yards on offense. Barkley still led the Giants in rushing yards 13-12 and touchdowns with 10.
Hey, real quick, like I want to touch on that, and then you can move on, Jake.
Okay.
Like this is where like it just dawned on me. You know, how everyone talks about, oh, you don't need a big money or a star or elite running back to win the Super Bowl because, like, look at all the Super Bowl winning teams. They've had cheap running backs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's cool for the Super Bowl winning teams. But how about the teams like the Giants and the Raiders that ran their running backs to the ground?
Mm-hmm.
From a player standpoint, that still counts. Just because the team didn't win a Super Bowl doesn't mean that the season never existed outside of those Super Bowl winning teams. The fact of the matter remains that those teams still leaned on these guys, these players, to put their bodies on the line and produce something for a bad team.
Yep.
It doesn't matter that they won or not. They still did it. They still produced. They still put their bodies on the line and did all that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we should be highlighting more of.
Yeah.
Because you can't just always look at like, oh, you don't need this to win. You don't need this to win. Great, wonderful. But that doesn't mean that it takes away what the other teams did to the players. That's what we have to realize. Like the other stuff still happened.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. Not making the playoffs, not making Super Bowl doesn't erase what losing teams did to their players.
Right.
They still played. So it just hit me and just like, how are we not seeing that? Like, how are we not seeing that? So yeah.
I mean, and the thing is, I see Tom is going heavy. It's not that, Tom. It's really for the fact of I'm a firm believer that all football players at every position are underpaid. I feel like with running backs we see it more evidently, I should say. But I mean, linemen, for anybody who puts you know what you sign up for, right? I get that. But when you have defensive end specialists having a higher AAV in some cases versus running backs and they don't bring nowhere near the same level of efficiency and results based into their team, that's where we have a problem. And I'm saying that the few of the few, right? The few of the few. But I know, Chuck, you did an exercise where you looked at what Brian Westbrook was making when he signed his contract, what LaShawn is making when he signed his contract. And then here's the other thing, too. I think I heard somebody say, it may have been Foxworth as well, it's like since 2015, since the cap has gone up, the percentage paid to running backs of that cap has gone down.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So other positions with the cap growth, and I understand the game changes, right? But it's just all right. So I'm put it like this. So here's my thing: if Tom is still watching, and hand to God, I don't like doing. What if Cass is a running back? He puts his body on the line for 4 or 5 years and has nothing to show for it. 29 years old. Maybe as a college degree, what have you, making his money now, his workforce, what he could do for the rest of his life is different.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? They make millions time in a short window. When you look at that 29 to 30 to 65 years old, 70 years old, because these dudes live a pretty long life if they take care of themselves, right? I'm not saying it's not on them to invest it and they should be able to kick their feet up. I'm not saying that. But when you look at that, from 29, I think they said the average lifespan of a running back in the league or career span is 2 years. And if you're not making $20 million in that, then especially if you go the way of the US dollar, $20 million is even what it was 10 years ago.
Right.
It doesn't matter if he's a dual threat. A dual threat running back still doesn't get paid.
No, because
look
you
at
have the
Austin Eckler.
Exactly.
Austin Eckler is not getting. He's had contract disputes too, but he's one of the best dual threat running backs. That's the thing. You have receivers, wide receivers that are third, fourth string that are getting paid more than these running backs.
Exactly. You think if Debo kept doing what he was doing, wide receiver / running back, he gets the extension he gets?
Nope.
Exactly.
It's like it's like the running backs is the janitors in the NFL, bro.
So this is the problem: is that the market pays you what your position is.
Right.
It doesn't pay you
Right.
what you're producing. Look beyond just running backs. Look at tight ends. Travis Kelce is getting paid on AAV of $16 million a year. You know how much Tyreek Hill is getting paid AAV? $30 million. Does that seem right to you? But Travis Kelce is getting paid what the tight ends get paid.
And they talk about it all the time because what's the franchise tag, right? The franchise tag is whatever the top end, the percentage of your position.
Your position, yes.
Your position, not your value, not your worth, your position.
Right.
Yeah. So, and that's why it's wrong, is because it shouldn't be that way. It should be you should get paid by what you're producing.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And then again, let's make this also clear. There's another thing. We are not blaming the GMs of the NFL and how they're building their rosters.
No,
they are doing they're doing what they need to do. What their job is. Like, you have to build a winning roster, and this is the best way to do it, is by just because the system allows them to. You don't pay second contracts to running backs, and you draft one and go forward, right? I don't blame them. That's perfectly fine. Like, I don't. We've lauded Howie Roseman because the graphic up here shows that he has 4 running backs that are doing amazing, that are all together pay less than Miles is with Carolina. That is perfectly fine. We are not blaming the GMs of the world. What the issue is the system. The way that the market is set up now and the CBA is not good enough. And yes, that is the fault of the NFLPA. Okay, that is. I'm not even like excusing them and blaming just the league and the owners. It's you guys all talked about already. That is the fault of the NFLPA for agreeing to a horrible CBA.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean that it can't get fixed. Like, I think what bothers me a lot too is that we tell like Greg and Tom are saying, just suck it up. Y'all are acting like this is Madden. Like, you can just tell people to just do it. Like, how long, guys, have I been saying that this is a trend that's going to rear its ugly head at some point? It's going to be bad. I've been saying it for, I don't know. It could be however long I've been in the A2D. I've been saying it for so long, and it's rearing its ugly head. Why? Because these guys are human. There's a human element to all this. You cannot tell a human being who has been putting their well-being on the line like this and getting beat up that their ratio paid to the salary cap shouldn't be going up along with the rest of the league. All the other positions, except for long snapper and punter, their ratio as proportionate to the salary cap is steady. It's increasing even, except for running back. But teams have no problem running them into the ground on a cheap contract, and then letting them go, which again is not their fault. But you have to see the human element. You have to. I don't think it's impossible to understand the business side and totally agree with the business side, but also acknowledge the fact that this needs to be changed. This doesn't, from a human element, this doesn't. It's not fair. It's not fair.
I did like the biggest thing is I could say is I want NFL players of all positions to be able to get to the money faster.
Yeah.
Get to the market faster because the market dictates what your worth is. I hear what Tom is saying, 5 years, whatever. But my thing is this: within the two, if it's a 3-year max contract, then that person can have multiple. Like, if you even this has been going, like the players like Dion and Jerry is a little bit different, but Dion for a while there, Dion was 1 year. That was it. And he 1 year deals are the way you maximize your worth because you get a lot of your money up front.
I've been saying running backs should take shorter deals with higher guarantees. Yeah, that's been my number one solution for years.
They have to say it takes one to do it.
Yes, absolutely.
Like if Saquon says, "Okay, we're off on the money. All right, you want 4 years, you want 3 years? No, give me 2 years. Give me 2 years, 26 million, 24 guaranteed.
Yeah.
The Chubb deal.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just that changes how the GMs and the teams would look at the running back position potentially, but the GMs have a boss to answer to. The same thing, so that's a little different. You know what I mean? And like you said, you can't fault the GMs. I saw, I think Philly Sports with Bate when he talked about the Zeke deal. If they're scared, I don't think it's that. I just think that maybe that Zeke deal and the GM the GM is Jerry, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
So I mean, he can't get mad at anybody. He
Jim
can't.
Stevens.
Yeah, but he still can't get mad at nobody. Who's gonna get mad at you.
Yeah.
So, but
I
it's
think
not
it's
like,
that Le'Veon deal, man. Because they had never seen. I don't think anyone had ever seen a running back fall off so quick, so fast. Like at
Well,
least
that was
with
his
Zeke-
own doing too.
At least with
But
Zeke,
that's
when
when you know
he
your
signed
character.
it, like he
you
still
know
was
your
good.
character, right? You know, you gotta know the character of the player, but also at the same time, what I'm proposing here is also a benefit to the team. Because if you do this and you have a 3-year window, that you can get out from underneath that bad player. I need everybody to have more accountability in the NFL when it comes to the players and it comes to the clubs. Have more accountability for your money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Howie's a genius that has been able to master kicking the can down the road, kicking the can down the road, kicking the can down the road.
Yep.
But we don't have a top tier running back. Now, and Howie has said, shit, if we had one, chances are we one of the few teams that would give a second contract.
Mm-hmm.
If they was able to draft Christian McCaffrey in 2017, guess what? He'd probably still be a Eagle.
Well, if you remember last year too, Pete, they tried to trade for him at the trade deadline last year.
Yep.
And if we had, oh my God, could you imagine if we had Christian McCaffrey? Then
On CMC, man.
And again, that goes to show that like even someone like Howie, who we laud and assume that he knows how to manipulate the running back market the way to save money. He still wants a guy like CMC. He still wants
100%. Yeah.
Like that shows that like there is a difference. There's a clear difference, and teams and players know this, but for some reason fans and media don't. There's a clear difference between an elite guy and a good guy.
Right.
There is a clear difference.
Oh yeah.
Now,
sure.
if you want to go into okay, but what about value? Because how much do I have to pay? That's completely fair. That's completely fair. But let's not ignore the fact that there is a difference in talent. And if you are, everyone laughed at the Niners for trading for CMC, but who was one of the ones that didn't? I didn't. Why? Because I was like, it makes all the sense in the world for them. So why wouldn't they do it? And even though they didn't beat us, they still made it far. They still made it to the NFC Championship game.
Yep.
And you know, it could have been a different story if it was a different quarterback. We don't know, but the fact is, like,
what up, Nate?
Because of him, that team was able to take the next step. Kyle even said it himself, like, with CMC there, it changes our whole offense. It brings us to the next level. So everyone, players and coaches know that. Teams know that.
Yep.
So there's a big difference. That's what I was gonna, that's one I wanted to hit on. And like Chris Long said this in his show, in his pod today that I was listening. It doesn't seem right too that if you look at jersey sales and you look at you go around your fan base, right?
Oh
and
yeah.
Who has the best selling jerseys? It's the teams that have star running backs. They sell jerseys. The fans still love watching running backs. Yep. They are a popular position. They are a position that still can be a face of a franchise. They still do a lot in terms of revenue of bringing in fans, but they don't see that. Like, you're like, okay, you're going to bring revenue, but we're not going to pay you. Like, it doesn't, again, and I think he brought this up. I think the number was players make, or I think teams get 1% of revenue from jersey sales. 1%. And then that has to be divided amongst whatever. That's crazy. 1%.
So where's the other 90+% going?
Right.
What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then they're buying a team for the logo. No, the fuck they not.
No.
It's insane. It's insane. Yeah. I know we got off a bit of a tangent, but Jake, name another solution that you would lean on to help.
So I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'll offer a potential solution, but I'll also play devil's advocate at the same time. So what you can do and what would honestly work and what has shown to work a lot of times is not only does the running backs as a whole have to come together, but it has to be players at other positions from other teams and also just big names in general. Like your Patrick Mahomes, is your Jalen Hurts, is your Joe Burrows, your top tier players that everyone knows, your Aaron Donald, so on and so forth. They have to come together also, be like, yeah, they're being underpaid, so on and so forth. You need different players from different positions to show support just so it gets the conversation going. Be like, oh, because, and like you said, with jersey sales, people follow specific players, even though they don't root for a certain team. They like certain players, and they might catch like a little snippet or a little clip here and there, or like a podcast, because every player does a podcast now, to where all they have to say is, running backs are getting underpaid and so on and so forth, and that whole thing. And we talked about the bottom line as far as like a business goes, and I get that. And with Pete's thing talking about this NFL salary cap, Pro Football Network came out with an article about like a month ago. The current salary cap is $224.8 million for the 2023 season, which is a $16.6 million and 7.9% increase from last year's cap. Now it's talking about like the Amazon money, so on and so forth, and it's going to keep going up and up and up. But my caveat to that is, and again, it's not at the fault of the GMs, like you said earlier, Chucks, because it's a salary cap league and that whole thing. And obviously you have to talk about the salary cap and other things like that. But when you look at things like this, like with what Howie Roseman has done, just with, as far as like you're talking about value, you look at DeAndre Swift, 1.8 million, Rashad Penny, 1.4 million, Boston Scott, 2 million, Trey Sermon, 1.1 million, and Kenneth Gainwell, 0.9 million. And then you have former Eagles running back Miles Sanders signing with the Panthers for 7.2. If you add all the Eagles totals together, that's also 7.2.
7.2.
So you're talking about value and all that. So as long as this is possible, and I'm not knocking Howie for what he's doing. He's a cap wizard, like the caption says. And we love him for it, right? Because it gives them flexibility, and it gives teams as a whole flexibility to just make moves left and right and that whole thing. But again, as long as you can do stuff like this, and as long as teams are still able to do stuff like this, the conversation is going to keep going, but nothing's going to change. So again, it gets back to my point to where not only do you need running backs to initiate the conversation, but you need your franchise players, your Aaron Rodgers, and so on and so forth, like I said earlier, to keep that conversation going. And then once that starts happening, it gets the ownership, it gets to the NFLPA, which I know a lot of us aren't a big fan of just because of the whole CBA situation and whatever. But there's a lot that has to go on, and I get like everyone wants to just be like, oh, running back should be paid more. Sure, I agree. But again, as long as you have this constant carousel to where you look at like an Ezekiel Elliott situation to where the Cowboys paid him and they thought they were going to get a franchise running back for a long, long time, but they ran him into the ground 300 plus carries to, I think, 400 1 year for 3 to 4 straight years, and he's not the same anymore.
Yeah.
All that wear and tear. But also the other issue arises to where you don't have that supports not paying running backs, to where you have a whole conveyor belt of running backs coming in every year with the NFL draft.
Right.
And you're talking about positional value. You're talking about draft value. You're talking about, like we talked about before the show even started with Isaiah Pacheco and that whole thing. He was a late round pick. They're not paying him anything.
Yep.
And with how his current contract structured, he doesn't have to get paid till he's 30, and he's not going to be the same player by the time he's 30. So the Chiefs get away basically like bandits, while Isaiah Pacheco is not going to hardly make anything his entire career. So as long as my whole synopsis and my whole point to this, to where the big name players also need to get involved aside from the running back position.
Yep. That's
however
that changed in the NBA, man.
Right. And the conversation needs to be had, and there needs to be a strong stance on it. But I just don't know how necessarily that can happen when you have the conveyor belt a la the NFL draft every year with a bunch of talent coming in, and it looks like and again, sometimes it's not even that case. And you're talking about like top tier, like franchise potential Hall of Fame running backs, talking about like your Nick Chubbs, your Christian McCaffreys, your Derrick Henrys, and you would put Saquon Barkley in there. I know a lot of us would, but the Giants are, and again, it's the Giants. So, I mean, the Giants will be the Giants, but it's just insane to where you don't even pay him. And he's your offense. Yeah. He's the guy's literally your offense, and you decide not to pay him. It's unbelievable to me. And I'm not a big numbers guy, and I never pronounce myself to be by any stretch. But when you're talking about a guy who's like 39% of your team's total offense, you got to pay him. Talking about your top performing guy, and say you're the top performing guy at the job, and you've been doing the job for 3, 4, however many years. And you go to the boss, be like, all right, it's time for my raise. And they just look back at you. Nah,
Yeah.
we'll give you a year extension. Here's what the market dictates. Sign that for a year, and then we'll come back to you. Like, how are you going to feel after that? Like, you'll come to work that 1 year, and you'll be like, I don't want to be here. After this year, I'm gone. I'm getting paid somewhere else. I'm going to find a better job, a better location, better benefits, so on and so forth. But it's a tough conversation to have, and I understand the business side of it to where, from the business standpoint of take advantage, or not take advantage, that's not the right terminology. Like, just get the most out of them while you can. And then once they're not the same anymore, be like, all right, off you go. We'll just draft another kid, possibly cheaper, possibly in the later rounds, and then we'll keep doing it again and again and again. I mean, look at what we did with Miles. I know the Miles situation is different, but we drafted Miles in the second round. He played out his rookie contract, and now he's somewhere else.
Yep.
So,
but that's also the same thing as like, it's not, well, I think what frustrates me the most is we're talking like the creme de la creme of the position.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
You know what I mean? We're not talking like the 10 to 20 range, 20 to 30 range. We're talking about the top five.
Tier,
like all pros and
your leading rusher of the season last year is not reporting to camp. Because he's being underpaid based off of what he brings to the table. And if you look at any other league, when you look at the positions and you look at the top 5 in anything, they're getting paid like it.
Yep. Exactly. PY, what solution would you bring to the table to help?
So mine's a little different. You'll never get any of those top guys to. This isn't the NBA. Like you can tell me the NFL is a brotherhood, and I'll laugh in your face.
Yep.
Here's the thing. It's a brotherhood until it stops getting you paid. Everyone, like with when they were kneeling, it's like, oh, these are my brothers. I would die for these brothers. Until it started affecting their paychecks, and then they're just like, well, sorry boys, I gotta stand for the flag. Like with Jerry, like when Jerry was telling him, it was like, oh man, we all stand together. Oh, Jerry gonna fire my ass? I don't think so.
Oh yeah, when you affect someone's
America.
Yeah.
So my idea is, so everyone gets 5 years. This is just the way I would do it. Everyone gets 5-year deals. It doesn't matter if you're a first-round pick or a fifth or a 7th-round pick. Mm-hmm. Everyone gets 5-year deals. Your first year is prorated, whatever you sign for, like standard, like all rookies. Mm-hmm. Year 2 is where it gets interesting. You give me a number. It's like, where do you think you're going to be this year? You can either take your standard deal of what your second year is going to be, or you can give me a number of what you think your stats are going to be. And if you improve, it's like, let's say I draft a running back in the first round. He's like, well, my year 2, I'm going to rush for 1,000 yards, and I'm going to have like 8 touchdowns. And you get that? Guess what? You get a bonus heading into year 3.
Yeah.
If you don't, I have the option to pay you less heading into year 3. And so on and so.
So performance based.
It's performance based. Because if they want to, I'm trying to think of this like an owner perspective. Because if you're willing to risk it, you can take the flat salary, which every rookie might take, or you can bet on yourself and get that nice fat pay increase heading into year 3. or year 4.
Yeah.
But you also have the risk of making less.
Yeah.
Yep.
That expounds on one of the solutions I was going to bring up if you guys didn't. So that's an interesting element to incentivize owners when they do this TBA to agree to something like that. Because then they get a reward if the player doesn't. You know what I mean? Like that's a very, very, very outside the box thought, and I like it because it helps both sides. Like I said, it incentivizes both sides to bring something like that on. So that's a good idea. That's I like that idea. So as you guys know me, I have a lot of notes. Okay.
What? No.
So no, but like we've mentioned a lot of it already. But like in terms of solutions, what I will say is like this goes into like the shorter contracts, right? So not only do shorter contracts, I think that the and I got this from who was it? Draft Dudes with God darn it, Joe Marino and Kyle Krabs. They mentioned this on their pod. Make the eligibility for college players be 2 years instead of 3. That way, you get players into the league earlier.
Yep,
and gives them another year in their prime. Right. That was a good idea that I liked. Obviously, you guys mentioned already the shorter contracts for the rookies, like make their contracts in like a year less. Get rid of franchise size. You guys already said.
Yeah.
PY, you mentioned the performance-based contracts added in with like the option of either taking the flat salary or do performance-based where if you meet a certain milestone, you get bonuses. If you don't, you get a pay reduction. I like that idea. We talked about Dominique Foxworth's solution of the fund, the player pool. Chris Long's idea, I think, is a very good one too. And it's been mentioned. It's been kind of like I mentioned Kyle Shanahan already, and he's kind of alluded to it. I think we need to, as a sport, go more positionless. Because you've seen, like, with the Niners, like, their guys on offense are positionless. Debo plays running back. Christian McCaffrey plays wide receiver. George Kittle plays wide receiver. Ayuk can get carries out of the backfield, too, as a running back. So, like, they're all positions. And that's what we talked about, the advantage of having those skill sets. I think that we need to stop, and I alluded to this earlier, the market has to stop paying guys based on position and pay them based on performance.
Yep.
So if you get rid of positions or like not get rid of them, but like skill positions should just be skill positions. You know what I mean? Like, and if you bring in a player, you're bringing them in not because of the position, you're bringing them because of a skill set. So the contracts need to start paying out what a player does on the field, regardless. Like a player was the example. Josh Jacobs, right, leading rusher in the league. He's gonna get paid less than what? Who's it? Alan Lazard. How much did Alan Lazard get paid? Alan Lazard barely does anything. Like barely doesn't put up anything, but he's going to get paid more. It shouldn't be that way. It should be paid based on this player, his yard from scrimmage was 1,400. So we're going to pay him based on that. We're going to pay him based on what his performance was. And that kind of leaks into, and there's overlap with what PY's idea was of performance-based. Like, make these contracts performance-based. Have these incentives built in to where if they hit landmarks, they're getting paid a certain amount if they hit them. So, I think those are all of the ones that I mentioned. I think and I'll say this before we finish off the first half of the show, because we still have a draft to get to. I don't think one solution is going to do it. I think everything we discussed here, all of it has to play a part in it.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
Multiple factors and changes implemented in order for improvement to take place.
Right.
And I really hope so. I really hope it's the case. And I really hope that even if we see it 7 years from now with a new CBA, if it takes 7 years to get to, I still hope that eventually there is a change for whatever. Because like I posted, I think his name is Charles McDonald for Yahoo. He wrote an article about this thing, and his article I thought it was concise. It's not that long of an article, but he hits every single freaking point. And he was saying how like, hey, like as it stands right now, your kid is not going to want to play running back.
Right.
Nor should you want to play running back.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't be the case. Running back is one of the most historically glorified positions in the history of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Kids should want to play running back.
Yeah.
It's a fun and cool position. And like, you know, with me, ever since I was in grade school, I've loved the running back position. And people sometimes ask me, like, what do you love about it? Like, why are you so passionate about that position? Why not focus your skills and studies on like wide receiver or something?
Mm-hmm.
And I say, hey, I love running back. If I was a player, I'd play running back. Why?
Right.
Because I touch the ball the second most next to the quarterback.
Right.
Because I can impact the game not only as a runner, but also as a receiver. I want to be able to get the ball more than 5 to 8 times a game. A wide receiver can only, like, think about it, guys. A wide receiver only gets 5, like on average, what is it, 5 to 10 catches a game?
Mm-hmm.
A running back, your starting running back is going to get 15 to 20 touches a game. I want to be able to impact the game that way.
Yep.
And a position like that should get more respect than it is getting right now. It absolutely.
I agree.
Yep.
So, any other closing remarks before we transition over?
No, I'm good.
Good, gentlemen. That was fun. That was really, really good.
Wow,
Great
we went
job
an
by-
hour.
Yeah, we went exactly an hour.
Wow.
Exactly an hour. Pete, second half. Can you let us know? Or you know what?
Yeah,
Read it off and then we'll get into the
let's roll the
commercial.
commercial. We got some bills to pay.
We do have bills to pay. If I can find the bill that we have to pay. There it is.
Hey, Birds fans, the NFL schedule has arrived and Philly Sports Trips has all the details now. Visit the site phillysportstrips.com. This is sure to be an epic season. Be sure to go there now to make sure that you don't get shut out. Join us in Tampa, LA, Seattle, or when we get revenge in Kansas City. Don't want to fly? No problem. Gather up your crew and hop aboard one of our signature boisterous bus trips to DC or New York. Sign up now and make sure to mention A2D. Don't miss out on the best Philly fan experience anywhere. Philly Sports Trip customers always stay at the best hotels and meet NFL legends. Book today.
Yeah, people, go look at Philly Sports Trips, best in the business. If you're trying to catch an away game in a good destination in a warmer month, Philly Sports Trips is the way to go.
Perfect. All right, guys. So we are going to resume our our draft. Let me zoom in. I
I
zoomed
was just
in.
going to say puppy power.
Yeah.
Puppy power.
Puppy power. All right, gentlemen.
I need to look at my board again and see here.
So these are the results. So we've got this. Where did it go? It's full screen mode. Okay, good. Okay, so we got 10 rounds in again. We have another 21 because we're going to now, as we decided last week, we're going to include coaches.
Yes.
So from this point on, coaches are draftable. All right. So again, you can draft a coach at any point. It's up to you if you know how early or late you want to draft one to nab the coach that you want. So they are now part of the pool. All right. So, Mr. Pete Evans, it is your pick at the 11th round. So let's resume. Go ahead, Mister.
Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, you didn't take a running back, did you? Okay. Okay.
That's a good one.
Lucy, I reloaded.
Let me see who's available. I forgot who's available left that I needed. Okay. So I have who is left that I really want? I need wide receivers. I have one edge guy. Frost. I have two corners. I have a safety.
Oh, I know where I'm going.
Can
Okay.
you zoom in a little or zoom out a little bit so I can see the whole thing?
With this?
That's better.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's better? Okay. All right. I think I am going to go. Yeah, have it. I'm going to go Terry McLaurin.
Ooh, okay.
I know why, but I'm surprised you took him over somebody else I'm thinking of, actually.
It was between him and another wide receiver, but I
What division does the other wide receiver play in? Because then maybe who I'm thinking of.
what division? AFC East.
Oh, no. Okay. Ooh, okay.
Yeah. PY.
Trey Hendrickson.
Trey Hendrickson.
I was not expecting that, but okay.
This man did some studying, boy.
Okay.
He said, who is a sack leader that I could get?
Mr. 14 sacks, baby.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just trying to see. Give me. Need another leader on my team. Give me Buda Baker.
Buda
Baker.
Buda Baker. Okay.
And give me the Lions offensive line.
There you go. I was waiting for it. I was like, when is someone going to take the Lions dominant offensive line?
Yep.
Okay. PY.
Where do I go next?
It's tough, right?
I mean, I have such a high-powered offense. I got to fill out my defense a little bit.
Yeah, offense is all right.
Stop. This is like a 50-point-a-game offense. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. You know what? This is what I need. Justin Simmons.
Nice.
I was that's who I was in between. I was in between Buda and Justin
Buda
Simmons.
and Justin Simmons.
I was in between, yeah.
There we go. And now that's a secondary.
Let's see here. Jeez. I think I am going to go with. Oh man, I don't know because if I have Myles Garrett already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with. Max Crosby. I need another top edge guy. Another top edge guy. So
Well, I mean, listen, I'm looking at my wide receivers because I just put up more points. But I had two back-to-back, right?
Yeah.
All right, just because it's slimmer on this position than what I like right now, I'm gonna go Kevin Byard.
That's a good one.
Him.
Yep. Okay, let me get another one.
can't get Tariq. I'm gonna get Tariq S. Give me Jalen Waddle.
Jalen Waddle. That was the other one I was considering. It was between Jalen Waddle and Terry McLaurin. I rank Terry McLaurin higher right now.
No huddle, Martian.
So you got Jalen Waddle. I am. Interior, or do I want? I could go with, you know what?
You won't.
All right. I'm going to go Dexter Lawrence.
Speaking of Giants.
Chucks. God bless you.
That's a good pick.
Pete's like, no.
The best pass rushing nose tackle in the game right now? Yeah.
That's an interesting. It's very interesting that you bring that up. It's very interesting. Quinn Williams.
I already took him.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, I already took him.
Really? I looked up.
First of all, you
Already
said
took
the
him.
name wrong. You said Quentin. It's Quentin.
Show me. See, God.
Yep, I already took him. I already took him.
Oh,
See,
God.
my inability to read things properly.
That's so
Javon
funny.
Hargraves.
Okay.
There you go.
See, God damn it. I looked through it, too. And I'm like,
Is that how you spell his last name? H-R.
well, I
Grave, yeah. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure.
Okay. All right, Jake.
I need another edge guy.
Did you say bench guy?
Edge.
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 Oh,
Edge rusher.
wait, were we drafting bench?
You know what? Give me what do you call it? Give me Von Miller.
a solid one.
There you go.
Give me the old man.
Oh.
Father
Okay.
time.
And
Give me. Speaking of father time, give me Levante David.
okay.
That's a risky one these days.
He's still a fan. I think he had over 133 tackles last year. He's still fantastic for 33.
PY.
Darius Leonard.
That's
Nice
a good
one.
That's a good one.
Okay, hold on. There's Leonard. I am going to pick. I need more corners. Darn it.
Ooh,
This is tough. This is really tough.
I need a nickel, actually, then, now that you mention it.
This is really tough. You know what? F it. I love my defensive line.
I was wondering when he would go.
Really?
Okay. I don't hate it.
I have 2 rookies on my team. I don't care.
Mhm.
All right. We are going to go. Taking a chance here, but Demario Davis.
Oh, you mother.
Okay. Okay.
Stealing things.
Roquan Smith.
Roquan.
Love it. Love it.
Roquan Smith. Okay. So Demario Davis. Now I have to pick.
I just hope and pray until by the time it gets back to me. That's all.
I think I am going to go with. Oh man. I want nickel. Okay. I'm gonna do it because I still think he's good.
I was wondering when he would go.
All right, PY.
Bobby Wagner.
Okay.
You make your picks with such like vigor. It's so funny.
Gotta have fun. You gotta believe in your guys.
I know. I love it. I like it.
Trying to think.
Let's go down.
Can you go up real quick? I just want to
Yeah.
see. So I
Do
can
you
see
see?
what else I got here.
Todd Womack says, "Who's
cereal? I think it was Ice Cubes.
Martian says OG Pete's still killing the draft. So he likes Pete's draft.
Let me see. I need a slot guy, even though he's not a slot guy. But you know what? Give me. Let's see here. Corner. I need another slot corner too. Give me Devontae Smith.
I have Devontae.
Oh, do you have Devontae? Damn.
Yeah.
Coaches too, right?
Yeah, I'm not doing coaches till later. We've still got a couple of rounds to go. Need a slot corner. So give me Kenny Moore.
Oh, Kenny Moore.
Yeah, give me Kenny Moore.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Can you go up one more time? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I need another safety too. Give me. Trying to think. Or do I go my head coach now and just get it over with?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think. Let me see something real quick. Hold on. Oh, you know what? I can know what I can do with my other safety. Give me Tyrann Mathieu.
Honey Badger. Okay.
That's solid. That is a solid move.
Always forget.
Hold on, I got you because his name confuses me too.
Yeah.
Tyrannn.
I have that.
Just type in Honey Badger.
Mathieu. Yep, you got it.
Oh, nice.
You got it.
Spelling bee. PY.
I'm gonna shock some people here.
Oh dear.
Good.
Andy Reid.
Okay. Going the head coaching route already. Okay. Starting a Are we drafting kickers?
No.
Okay.
Kickers are not people.
Well, the line.
Hey, kickers are people. You mind your manners.
I was kidding.
Right.
Let's see. I'm going to take oh darn it. Do I want that or that? You know what? I'll do it. Garrett Wilson. There you go. Garrett Wilson.
Okay.
Mr. Pete. OG.
Chiefs offensive line.
Okay.
Okay.
They look good in the Super Bowl, bitch.
There are better lines out there. They lost Orlando Brown.
Then the Chiefs, you think?
Yeah, there are better ones.
Yeah, they lost.
Panthers.
They lost their left tackle too, so
Yeah.
that's gonna
They
be a problem.
they
for them.
signed Jawan Johnson from Jacksonville.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
he's okay.
Hey man,
It's not Orlando Brown.
that's true. All right, take that off, yo. You got me.
You're so lucky. You have the next pick too.
We bullied him into changing his pick.
No, I'm not going O line with this pick right now.
Okay.
I am going to go. I need a strong safety. Give me Kyle Duggar.
Kyle Duggar.
I was thinking about him too.
Okay.
What are we looking at when we talk about coaches?
What do you mean?
No, you son of a bitch.
Oh my.
What do you mean? What are we looking at?
I know where you're going. Go ahead.
John Gruden.
Mike McCarthy.
God.
We're looking at a coach. Like,
Jim
you
Kelly.
want to coach your team. They have to be in the NFL, of course.
No, I'm just thinking. So he took Andy Reid.
Did I went early because so I could get the best. I'm the best. Sir. With honors.
Sir.
He is a Super Bowl winning head coach.
So Mike McCarthy.
No.
Write that down.
I think I know who you're going with.
I know exactly who's going with. Son of a bitch.
Give me the hoodie, man.
You going with Bill?
Oh, okay. We're good.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere else.
Oh,
God,
thank God.
yeah,
Okay,
you're going
cool.
with Bill?
No, man, you know what?
Oh,
No,
thank
give me 3
God.
seconds. Take it out. 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 Take it out.
Oh,
Take it
No,
out.
no, it's already in. It's already in. I don't want to hear
No.
nothing.
You can't.
No, you cannot.
Oh,
Fourth.
damn it.
No, I want a recount. He put it in. It was there.
You said Super.
It was there.
Go back up. Go back up. Who I have again? I'm looking at my defensive players. Fuck it. You know what? I've been wanting to do it because I want him as my head coach. I can't get him in fantasy, so I can't get him real life. So I get him in fantasy. Give me fucking Mike Tomlin.
Damn it. I knew it. That's the guy who was.
I think he should be doctor pick. I'm just saying.
Damn it.
Listen here, Quentin Williams.
I have ADHD. It's not my fault.
How do you know I don't?
That's dyslexia,
Oh my
actually.
God.
Martian,
Yeah, I do.
I strongly considered it, Martian.
All right, you went head coach. I'm just gonna go head coach now. Of
All
course,
right.
I'm gonna go with my
Oh
guy.
my God. See,
Shocker.
that's why I said,
All right, good.
like, as far as this, I mean, if I'm in the Super Bowl, sorry, Kyle, I love you. You give good podcast, and you got a coaching tree.
Hey,
and all that
with
shit.
my team, he's gonna win the damn Super Bowl.
Okay.
With my team, he's
All
winning the
right.
Super Bowl because he'll have a quarterback for once.
We'll see when he gets to the NFC Championship game.
Yep.
Mr.
Go ahead.
Young.
Py.
Matthew Judon.
Okay.
I like it.
I do too.
Wait, is he's listed as edge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
No, I think he's inside.
Oh, he's an edge. He's an outside linebacker.
No, I don't get fucked.
God damn it. Give me Chris Olave, please.
Chris Olave is yours.
And then my head coach.
Golly gee, I wonder where he's gonna go.
Give me Doug Peterson, please.
Really interesting.
All right, Py.
Where do I go now? It's like
Yeah, after your head coach, it's kind of.
We're gonna go Quentin.
I looked too, and I was just like, I swore he wasn't there. That's what happens, man. Can we go up? I just want to double check it and make sure this person's not taken.
Who are you looking at? I'll tell you if he's taken.
Let's go up one more time.
You can say it. We'll say if we have him or not.
Let's go to the board. Give me Dallas Goedert.
Okay.
Yeah, no one has one. So. I'm going Mr. Javon Holland.
Okay.
All right, Pete, where you at? Oh, I really want this guy. I really hope.
Give me.
I really, really want this guy.
It's tough.
Don't take my guy. Don't take my guy. Don't take my guy.
How many running backs do I have?
You have two.
Let's see.
One.
We have Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
Ooh, excuse me.
Give me Cleveland Browns line.
Good one. Okay.
Nice.
They're my next pick.
There you go. Okay.
If I go 4 wide receivers with this, bitch, good
We have
night.
a flex. Remember, we did do flex.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah,
Good night.
I have my flex already. So
DK Metcalf.
okay.
Nice.
Where are you? There you go. Okay, Metcalf. Oh man. So because I have no linebacker, this is going to be one of my linebackers, even though he's a safety.
I figured you would. I looked at him, but I was like, nah, I need.
If I put him just at weak side linebacker, he's just pretty much.
This is your role. This is what you do. This is it. Don't think about nothing else.
Yeah, you don't have to play coverage. Just freaking go.
Because that's exactly what I'm throwing his way.
Yeah.
You go in front of him, you go behind. He has to make a decision.
Yeah.
We are not running swing routes to that side.
He's my pseudo linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing dime all
I'm putting
day.
motion in front of that bitch, no matter what side of the field he's on.
Yep.
He's my dime linebacker. PY.
Okay. Can you go up? I want to see who's available.
Dude, all you have to do is say the name. We'll tell you if he's available.
Were the Ravens O-line taken yet?
No.
No.
Give me Ravens O-line.
Okay. Jake.
Give me, because you did mention the flex spot. Give me Austin Eckler, please.
That's a solid one.
Okay, and we all have 2 more picks. I have a flex. I do need a linebacker.
There's one out there that I like.
Yeah, there's one I think I have my eyes on.
It's actually 2.
Roquan Smith was taken, right?
Yes.
Okay. Give me. I'm trying to think what else I
Are we
need.
doing backup QBs too?
No.
All right, so I have my 2 edge guys. I have my interior already set. Linebackers are good. I'm trying to think. Now it's just depth. I could use another tight end, actually. Did someone take Mark Andrews?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I'm just
Mhm.
making sure. And then let me think. Did anyone take TJ Hawkinson?
No.
Give me TJ.
Okay.
And then I'm going to round it out with my guy Nolan, Mr.
Wait,
Nolan.
you already had 2 picks.
Oh, duh! I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to take Nolan Smith
Oh,
now?
he's
were
gonna
you?
take Nolan Smith. Yeah,
Your
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
What do you mean your guy?
My guy, Nolan Smith.
It's my guy first.
Nope.
You
See
won't
why?
do it. Pete. You won't do it.
Show me the
Who I
receipt.
go?
I literally had Chuck like making fun of me in the group chat for saying it.
Saying what?
When I'm like, I really like this guy Nolan Smith at 10, guys. What do you think? That's a nice pro day.
I was making fun of you?
Oh yeah.
I thought it was freaking Nate.
No, you were making fun of me for liking him right after he ran that 40 time.
I think it was Nate.
Oh yeah, I was making fun of you getting hyped over because
Oh, 40.
of course
Yeah,
you get
yeah,
hyped
yeah.
over him. All of a
I mean,
sudden.
he also went to Georgia. That's another reason. Yeah,
You've never mentioned him before the combine ever. You just saw him run a 40 time, and all of a sudden you love him. But go ahead. You want Nolan Smith?
Oh, me? No.
Who you're taking?
You know what? It's going to hurt me to do this. It's going to hurt my soul. But give me Deebo Samuel.
Why do you put your arms down?
That's not bad for a flex, though. That's not bad.
No,
I don't hate it.
Fantastic flex.
I don't hate it.
2 spots. I don't know. Okay, I guess I have to take a linebacker.
Yes.
Yeah, you can do what you want.
But do I want to take my flex first? Because my linebacker will be there. Dang. Okay, so I can either go the line or another corner.
I say we do 22 just to make it even.
Huh?
Say we do 22 just to make it even. Because that's what I mean. That's what
Wait,
you're
for what?
Might as well just make 22 kicker.
No, I'm not doing kickers.
Kickers are a very important part of the NFL game, Chucks.
I'm not doing kickers.
11 on 11 is 22.
Yeah, but we took one whole unit of the offensive line. We took a whole unit.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. I mean, it doesn't matter.
That is true.
Y'all team still pale in comparison.
That is,
My
Team's
offense
still-
will smoke your defense, sir.
Your team's still trash.
all right. I'm gonna get another edge in there because I can.
Don't you do it.
There.
Ah, that's a nice,
Ooh,
that's
okay.
a nice late rounder.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it.
All right. Saquon Barkley.
There it is.
Ah, I thought I was gonna steal it.
I was debating between him, but
That's he's two. Between him and Jonathan Taylor, like, bro,
yeah, yep.
my team's identity, man.
Go ahead.
Go up for me.
Yeah.
How he hasn't been taken yet is beyond me.
Go ahead.
Then take him. Finish it off.
Joey Bosa.
Oh, he hasn't been taken because he's fallen off.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's still good.
Joey.
All right.
And then I'm gonna finish mine. I guess I take a linebacker.
True Greenlaw.
Really?
Okay.
Over Matt Milano
Yeah, I like Drake Greenlaw. I'd say they're about even. Same
I
thing.
like
and
Jerry a lot.
Tremaine Edmonds.
Yeah, I'd say Drake Greenlaw is insanely good. I won't say insanely good, but he's like I would have them in the same team.
He's underrated. You don't know how good he is because of who he's next to.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, he's so good. I think he's on the same level as Milano and Edmonds. I actually think he's better than Edmonds, to be honest.
It was nice doing this exercise with you boys. I think
Indeed. This was
PY,
Thank you for
any
your-
day now.
Go up one more time, 1 to 14. Just want to double check.
My defense is fucking ridiculous, bro.
Marquis
Mine's
says
pretty
no,
good.
no one chose a fullback that proves position in the league has really
Marquise, you name me a starting fullback I could possibly choose. You let me know.
What's his name for the
It's a
49ers?
good thing no one
Um,
took Dak or Brandon Cooks.
All right. Chuck, you really only okay? You did take a second running back. I was about to say. So
Second what?
time to finish off my roster with Josh Jacobs.
Okay.
You kept your hands down. I'm proud of you.
All right. Well, since no one wants to respect the position anymore,
So you were
I
good.
I still believe it. I still believe in it.
Jesus Christ!
Give me Kyle Juszczyk.
Yay!
Not only are you wasting a pick on a fullback, you're wasting a pick on a bad Ivy League program player.
Oh my god! I'm just gonna say Juice because I don't know how to spell that insane name.
Could have gone to Princeton where it matters.
Did
All right.
anybody take Trayvon Diggs or no?
No.
Good line.
You're stupid.
I
That
love
was-
biting on double moves.
That was perfect timing. That was good. Well done.
That
was funny.
Got drafted. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, guys. This will be up. This will be up probably sometime next week. Since we don't have a show next week, this will be like the placement of the show.
Mhm.
We'll do this as a way to get people to vote who had the best team. Pete will probably win.
Probably.
Yeah, PY.
I'm gonna get grilled for drafting you, check, but I don't care.
You
It's
will.
funny.
You deserve it.
Oh, it's funny. I don't
Yeah,
care.
it's fun. It's fun. I think it's interesting how we can build a team. I like my offense. No, I like my offense and secondary.
The greatest show on turf 2.0.
So, yeah. Well, it also was a 4-man draft.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's excuses. You still got to make the picks. God damn it.
We all
I
have
can go
stars.
I can go with 3 cornerbacks because my safeties can play hybrid,
Yeah.
ball hawk.
Guys, I have 1 linebacker. I have 6 DBs on the field.
Chucks is going to revolutionize defense.
I'm running dime. I have 3 corners and 3 safeties. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going. The
Can you just play with 1 linebacker? Like, can you just move some of your safeties to linebacker?
Well, that's what I did. Hufanga's playing linebacker. Hufanga's playing my linebacker position. He said, PY, Martian says, PY, you drafted Debo.
Damn right I drafted Devo. As a flex man? Are you kidding me?
Oh, God.
So my wide receivers are Devontae, Tyreek,
No, it's a good pick.
and
It's a good
Devo.
pick.
Get out
It's
of
a good
here.
All right, gentlemen, no huddle. What you got before we head out of here?
CJ Garner Johnson is just being a little.
Yeah.
No, how you say it's the people, bro? How you say it's the people? You don't like the people. You missed it, bro. It is what it is. You overshot.
Remember when he was leaving, he loved the fans. Oh man, I'm gonna miss you guys. You got my heart,
Yeah.
Philly.
What the heck happened?
He's a grade A loser. No, this is his 3rd team in 2 years. Just tells you everything you need to know.
Doing it for clicks.
He was doing a live stream on Twitch or some platform, and someone gave him a super chat being like, what do you like most about Philly and what do you hate most about Philly?
And he chose the weather.
Yeah, he's like, the weather's nice. He's like, I like the weather. He's like, I don't mind. He's like, I don't mind the cold. I like the cold. But he's like, the people are annoying.
This is why we watch Adam Cole instead.
He's like, the fans are loud. They're annoying. I don't like them. I'm like, all right, dude.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that wasn't
Loser.
that wasn't what you were preaching a few months ago. But whatever.
Yeah, I was
I-
preaching
I-
you on to yeah.
I'm over the whole thing.
Bring on the great white hype. Let's go. Let's go,
I
baby.
get-
Great white hype.
He was
Hope.
CJ was great with us. I'm glad
Mhm.
we had him this past season. He's moved on. To me, that's just it. He's just moved on. It is what it is.
Yep.
I'm tired of all this. CJ.
Talk to me when the Lions are like 7 and like 10 and they miss the playoffs.
that
And
That
one.
won't happen.
That's not gonna happen.
No way.
that most likely won't happen. But I appreciate your hope. For that
They'll be the either they can. I think they should be the 3 seed. They fuck around could be the 2 seed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think the deciding factor is going to be Jameson Williams, in my opinion. Him missing those games, I think, is going to be crucial.
What do you got? 6?
He had 6.
6, yep.
And
That
your
was big
wide,
praise for
your wide receiver, too, is
They just got another wide receiver.
They got
Yes.
Denzel
Yes.
Mims.
he sucks monkey balls. Like, get out of here.
We'll see.
They drafted my boy too, Laporta. I think they got Laporta,
Yeah, Sam
Not
Laporta
mistaken.
or whatever.
and then they also got their defense, man. Shit, their secondary. God, you got Chauncey. Then they took our boy from Bama,
Oh,
Branch.
yeah.
Brian
Yeah.
Branch. So
Forgot they got Branch.
they still got Emeron St. Brown. They still got Gibbs.
Gibbs is going
I
to
still don't understand the
talk about positionless. Talk about positionless. Gibbs is going to be like their other receiver.
Yeah,
He's going to get the second most receptions on that team outside of Amon-Ra. So
but the biggest thing is their division is ass.
Yeah.
I think the Vikings take a step back.
Mhm.
I mean, they can't.
Yeah.
Jordan Addison about to get locked up.
oh yeah, oh my God.
He's a
Yeah.
dumbass.
Oh
How you
my
gonna do like 140 down the road at like 3 a.m.? Like you're stupid.
Did you not learn anything from Henry Ruggs, bro?
Right.
Exactly. Like
I guess I don't.
once again, like if you want to do that, like there's tons of places towards like you can just go around the track.
Go track, yeah.
Dude, I literally bought my dad a ticket to where he can drive a race car for 3 hours and do like 150 around the track. Like it's
That
fun
sounds like
as
a lot of fun. That sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
He had a blast.
I bet.
We left. He's doing like 120 on the road. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Not when I'm in the car. He's like, I'm revved up.
Oh
I
my
have a
God.
need for speed.
I'm like, I have a need. I have a need to make it to the next day.
Fair.
Oh my God.
Dumb as hell. I have a need to make it to the next day. Like I have the need to make it to
Look,
Wednesday.
man, when I was a kid, my dad invented this thing called rough driving, which was him driving like an asshole.
Rough.
And that's when
driving.
he's just driving the normal speed. Him doing 120 scares the living crap out of me.
That's funny.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Anything else, gentlemen, before we head on out here for 2 weeks?
Did you guys watch Adventures of Superman yet?
Not yet.
I have.
What did you think?
Oh, I like it. I'll take it real live TV. Mayans ended yesterday.
Oh, I don't watch it.
Spin off of Son of Sam. I just don't know why writers feel like they need to close these arcs with pain. I don't understand it.
Pain.
It is what it is, man. It's what they want to do. I hate it too.
I don't.
Sex, that's what's
Speaking of FX, did anyone else watch Justified Primeval?
No, but he's in a new show as well that I just saw on Apple TV. Is it Apple TV?
I love him so
No,
much.
is it Max? On Max, the drama, and Claire Danes is his husband, is his wife, and they're like a whole like fake kidnapping shit. And Timothy Olympus is
he has a
loved
hold
him
on
for-
me, man.
I
I love
always loved him
him.
for Girl Next Door. So that's
Interesting.
yeah. And Jack Ryan is epic. I didn't know Jim from The Office had that in him. I need a movie.
Captain America. Can be,
And Secret Invasion is
Not bad.
pretty
Can't wait
good.
to binge it. I can't wait to binge it.
I mean, you really. I mean, at this point, well, yeah. I mean, you can still take it because there's only one more episode, 6 episodes.
Yeah.
I might binge it next week. Yeah.
So it went from like 49 minutes to like the second one was like super long, like 50, almost like an hour, and then the last 2 have been like last 3 have been like under 40 minutes. So they pack a lot in there real quick.
Yeah.
I just don't know where they go after they wrap it. There's things that have been done and people who have been identified as scrolls. I just don't know how they play into the MCU moving forward.
Oh my.
And what happened to the real ones? That's the biggest thing. Like, where are the real ones?
Oh my God. Here we go. I don't trust it. I don't trust anyone. Y'all could be scrolls. I don't know.
Essentially, bro, that's where I'm at.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Great show.
Hold on, before we get out of here, what do you have going on this weekend, sir? Go ahead and plug it for the people.
Well, I have a very meaningful event this Saturday. For those viewers who don't know this about me, I am a long-time dancer.
He's a stripper, folks.
A stripper, yes. Yeah. Long-time dancer, hip-hop. I used to direct a team. I founded and directed the team back in like 2009 up until 2013. And this weekend, I put together a project to bring together former members and the current members of that team together. So it's kind of like a reunion, reunion show. Yes, that's exactly what I do, Martian. Yeah. It's like a reunion performance that we're doing this Saturday at a showcase event up in, I don't remember, it's Ken Seifel Theater it's somewhere like near in like the Central Jersey area. So
there's no such thing.
There is a such thing. The governor is trying to put it into law. There's this thing.
It's because he wants to be the president.
So yeah, it's Central Jersey exists
secretly.
Central Jersey exists. But anyways, yeah,
Were you
I
in
have that
Walter
this
too?
Saturday. If you want to check some of it out, I made a kind of like a teaser video for the performance. It's on my socials. It's there. But yeah, it's a big thing. I've got
Martian.
to
I saw that too.
wrong tube, wrong pipe.
No, Martian.
Yeah, what Martian said.
I knew Chucks was a Jabberwocky. Oh my god, Jabberwockies were like I was a huge fan of them even before they got big. I remember them. I remember watching the performances like back in the day, early 2000s.
I was gonna say they were huge in the early 2000s. They were huge.
Yeah, early 2000s before they got big. It was I knew them, so it was crazy. Yeah. And the current members now they don't do the Vegas show anymore. They have new members on there as Jabberwockies.
I was gonna say.
One of my friends is a Jabberwocky.
Oh really?
But yeah.
Oh cool.
Yeah. I know a lot of people in the industry. Like I've danced with them and everything. I've never pursued it because it was never something I wanted to do.
Right.
It's a hard lifestyle, hard job. You don't get paid much. Like it's very, yeah. It's never for me. It was never for me. I'm more. I love more so being a community member where I do like competitions and showcases and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'm kind of getting back into it. I don't know what the future may hold. I might be getting back into it more with Grayson now here and seeing if he would like to do it as he gets older. And kind of like take after my footsteps. We'll see. I don't know. It's going to be up to him, whatever he wants to do. But I wanted to at least expose him to that community it's been part of my life for so long. And it's probably never will leave. And it's going to be fun. It's definitely going to be a lot of fun. And he's been at the rehearsals and he's had a ball. Like he has so much fun watching it. So like we'll see how it goes. But like I don't know. I might get back into it. But yeah, this Saturday, Martian, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, videos and stuff will be up on my socials if you follow me. But it's 9-10 years I've been out of that scene. Roughly 9-10 years. And it felt good to get back into it. You know what I mean? So like it's I'm very, very excited. So
good.
Yeah. Appreciate it. All right. Anything else, guys?
I think that's it.
That's all I had.
All right, Pete. Bring us on home.
Well, thank you, fam, for rocking with us. Another beautiful show on a Thursday night. Maybe a switch coming up in the future. I think we pretty much have locked it in, right? I think we're it's set now. We can say it. Come football season, I believe week 1 we will be on Tuesdays. Moving to Tuesdays. Going to be the first looking ahead and the first for the recap on A2D. Lineup is going to change a little bit, but going to have some new things, weekly segments, weekly little activities from the guys on the bottom. So, but we thank you for rocking with us always. We are truly blessed to be able to do this and have this platform. Our regulars that are in here, thank you for rocking with us. I don't know where Don is at tonight. He may be at a Red Wings game. I don't know. But he wasn't here. Angry Bear, Martian Lynch. Excuse my voice. But I want to start doing a roll call for those who've commented in at the end of the night. Acknowledge you, give you your props. You're the reason why we do this. So for everybody out there, if you're traveling, travel safe. Hug your loved ones. Give them a kiss. Birds of a feather. We out.